We also have with us tonight aviation expert Kapil Kaul. And Kapil, you've argued actually the other day very strongly that it is for the government to step in and rescue the airline industry as a whole. And do you still stand by that? Even in Kingfisher's case, do you think that they should be stepping in?
I think the three critical issues. One issue is the structural issues that airlines have. And that has been unaddressed for the last 20 years. And structural include the high cost of fuel, high cost of other forms of taxation, inefficiency
landing
of,
fees, so on. Yeah.
Inefficiency of your strategic assets, not being able to deliver what the airlines require. So there's a huge set of structural issues which have been unaddressed. Critical among them is the fuel cost. It's 60–70% expensive. The fuel is taxed on international spot prices, not an Indian crude, Indian basket, with the result that every time the fuel prices go up, taxation goes up. And just for an instance, in the Q2 of this fiscal, Jet had to pay almost 350 crores more of fuel, which they had not planned for. And a large amount of it is taxation. So structural issues of cost, of inefficiency of your system is there. Second issue is primarily of your regulatory and policy environment, which over 20 years we have not addressed. We look at airports separately, airlines separately.
But at the end of the day, bottom line, does the government need to come to the rescue of Kingfisher?
Well, I have said this again and I repeat it again. I don't think there's a bailout, and I agree with Mr. Bajaj what he said, and I read what the Prime Minister said as well, that his issue was that the needs of the sector would be looked at. My understanding of the situation is that Kingfisher's bailout is only possible with Dr. Mallya, UB Group, pumping in capital, financial restructuring, creating a credible turnaround plan, and bringing, making sure that your revenues are met by cost. Kingfisher's bailout or any airline's bailout is not possible by the government. It cannot.
So
what at max
you
it
argued
could
very
do.
strongly today that the government shouldn't be meddling in this at all.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with Mr. Kaul that there is a large emphasis which should be played on the overall policy environment. And I think the policy environment extends to the sector as a whole. It extends to every single company which operates an airline. Exactly. It's not Kingfisher, is not X. Where you make that, that's fine. But when the Prime Minister of a country says, okay, we must extend some help to Kingfisher, now that's crony capitalism. Why not say that, look, Indigo has done rather well, therefore we should reduce interest rates for them? You can go on and on like that. The point is that a lot of the ills of Kingfisher are due to very erratic management policy of theirs. You start off with a low-cost airline, move on to a high-cost airline, purchase everything, go into a bit of profligate spending. There are a lot of internal management issues which are there, and which the banks must address as commercial lenders.
But what about
that commercial? So
what about the points that Vijay Mallya makes about high taxes?
Vijay Mallya's points are relevant, but they are not relevant to Kingfisher alone. They apply as applicable to Jet, as applicable to SpiceJet, as applicable to anyone else, including Air India. So precisely the reasons why we criticize Air India for being constantly bailed out, because you've got an inefficient structure.
NDTV's cricket app, Android and iPhone, fastest scorecard, special analysis, and much more. Download free. ndtv.com/apps.